So, if you're into K-pop, you've probably seen this Areia remix label with the little birdie on your YouTube feed. Come on, you can't miss it. It's been around for 16 years, since the dawn of the Korean wave. Or maybe you're one of these guys, already subscribed. Kudos to you. Well, it turns out I've made more than 1,000 of those through the years. And I really want to keep making them. But there is a dark force working against me, something that tries to bury my remixes before you can even see them. Can I ever make it to the next 1,000? You know the drill, it's your favorite K-pop song, but wait a minute, what's going on here? A little rave part inside K-pop? Idols are known to jump to Areia remixes from time to time. Use them in their live performances. And even various TV shows. DJs play them in clubs and festivals. Few of them are official, with the artist promoting them. They were even included in the actual albums. Some of them have reached millions of views.
Not great or terrible.
But sometimes I catch myself wondering, was it all just luck because I happened to be so early in the Korean wave? Or do people actually love my music? Were those thousands of hours spent remixing K-pop even worth it? You must be thinking, dude, what are you talking about? How about all these views? You must be a millionaire by now, right? Right? Well, not so fast. YouTube sends 100% of the revenue of every single remix I make to the companies and artists. I literally get zero. So why even make them? Especially 1,000 of them? Well, because it's fun. It's my way to connect with K-pop. It's an expression of wanting more from the original song. The feeling of participating and connecting with the music, the visuals and the idols on a whole different level. Still, was it actually worth it? Well, remixing K-pop also allowed me to develop my music production skills, get into the K-pop industry and work on original productions at all levels. I've even produced several artists' music videos. You could say I was a PhD student of K-pop, which is why I've been working so hard to eventually start my little entertainment company here in Korea in the coming years. While that might be the ultimate target, remixing K-pop is still the fuel to all this ambition, my connection with all of you guys, and my way to stay motivated. So why stop now? I'm making another 1,000. Only this time it won't take 16 years. I'll be dropping them by the dozens. By the end of this video, you will know exactly how I'm going to do it, why it can bring me one step closer to creating my company and debuting my own artists, and most importantly, where to watch all those remixes, because most won't be on this channel. You see, an Areia remix is not that different from arranging a brand new song from scratch. It's a full-scale production using professional tools with sound design, music composition, song arrangement, mixing and mastering. In the first years, when I was still learning, all that used to take weeks of work for each remix. But I've done it so many times, 1,000 actually, that these days I can almost do it with my eyes closed. Remixing K-pop somehow became my life's journey. It's my craft, something I've mastered through the years. When I work on a remix, my brain already knows what to do and my hands just move automatically. It feels like muscle memory. So these days, how many remixes I release isn't about time or effort anymore. It's about the dreaded YouTube's algorithm. The latest version of YouTube's algorithm works in a way that if I upload anything other than brand new songs from top-tier groups, it seriously hurts the long-term performance of the whole channel. Here's what happens. YouTube first recommends a new video to a small group of people. If those people watch it, it shows it to a few more, and so on. But as you'd expect, not as many people click on remixes from less popular groups, no matter how good the remix is. The result is that after just a few uploads from mid-tier groups or older songs, the channel's performance drops, and YouTube starts showing my videos to fewer and fewer people.
Computer says no.
And it just keeps going downhill from there. When I realized all that, it had a huge impact on my work. I had to be super careful about song selection and upload frequency, and even reshape the remixes themselves to please the algorithm. That forced me into a mindset of serving the algorithm instead of the people who actually enjoy my work. But K-pop isn't just those few top-tier groups. What about all the other great music out there? Or the different kinds of remixes I could make? Well, I can't possibly release any of those in this YouTube channel because you guessed it, the algorithm. Also, you might be wondering by now, Jun, how do you even afford rent and food if you don't get paid for all this work? Well, since I don't get anything from YouTube, for many years now I've been running a Patreon page where people who really enjoy my remixes can support me. It still hasn't made me a millionaire and it's not even close. But I truly appreciate all this support. It has helped me tremendously all these years. I want to give as much as I can back to those who support me. Unfortunately, even people keep asking for it, I can't offer downloads of the remixes because it's totally illegal. And an insult to everyone who worked hard on the original productions. Over the years, I've tried offering different things on my Patreon. Early access, polls to vote for the next remix, exclusive behind the scenes, extended and instrumental version of the remixes, but it always felt like it wasn't enough. And I started thinking, okay, that's it, I've maxed out this game. There is nothing more to do here. I'll just release 3 or 4 remixes a month from the big groups, feed the algorithm and hope people keep supporting me. And just when I was about to give it all up, I was going through the hundreds and hundreds of remixes I've made over the years, reminiscing about the good times when I could just remix the songs I actually liked, the way I felt like remixing them to begin with, without all that pressure to perform for the algorithm. And it just hit me. What if I make any kind of remix I want, without caring about YouTube's algorithm, and offer them exclusively to my supporters? So I sat down and thought about every kind of remix I want to make, but I couldn't because of the algorithm. I ended up with 8 different kinds, plus the ones I'm already making and releasing on this channel. I called it all the Areia Remix universe. First, I renamed all the Patreon tiers to something more creative and recognizable. Next, I assigned all those kinds of remixes to the different tiers and removed all the side content like extended versions, instrumentals, behind-the-scenes videos and whatnot. Cutting out all that extra work gave me the time to focus on what people actually love, which is the remixes themselves. Now, I feel like I'm giving something of real value to everyone who supports me. On top of that, releasing videos without worrying about the algorithm means I don't have to waste time hunting for the perfect thumbnail, writing descriptions and tags, making promo material, or even worse, cutting whole sections from a remix just to keep people from clicking away.
Oh, stress! Oh my god, stress!
Everything finally started to make sense. I could stop working for the algorithm or low-value side content and just focus on more remixes. Remixes of the style that you guys enjoyed and I wanted to make in the first place. Just in the first month of Areia Remix Universe, I released 22 remixes of all kinds, and I plan to keep releasing many every month. Only few of them were released on this YouTube channel as Evolution remixes. The rest were exclusive to supporters on Patreon. Evolution is the flagship series of Areia Remix, released here on this channel for everyone to watch. It's where I push songs to their maximum potential, always chasing breakthroughs in sound design and arrangement to create the next-gen sound of Areia Remix. This is also where I developed the techniques and sound sets that become the foundation for all future remixes. In the past, I used to release a shorter version here on YouTube called the Radio Edit and offer the extended versions on Patreon. That's all history now. From now on, what's released on YouTube will be the one and only full version.
Now.
But remember all those remixes I was making before I introduced Evolution earlier this year? I'm talking about pretty much every remix I made from 2009 up to the end of last year. Back then, I didn't have to worry about creating a breakthrough project with every release like I do with Evolution, or care whether the song was out for a few months already. I would simply find the best candidates for a remix and express what I felt for the song at that moment without over-engineering things. I also didn't have to care about the algorithm, so I could freely remix songs from mid-tier groups. Well, Well, those remixes are now back as the signature remixes, available to all my supporters. The past 2 summers have been very special to people who enjoy my remixes and also love older K-pop songs. That's when I released almost 60 remixes of tracks, mainly from the previous decade. You see, even though I made over 1,000 remixes over the years, I couldn't possibly cover every single song. There just wasn't enough time, and I was also busy with my own artists and original projects, so I missed a lot of great ones. Back then it was also impossible to get clean vocals for many songs, so I often had to skip them. Now those kind of remixes, the ones that revisit older K-pop hits, are back. Not just as special events, but as a regular part of the Legacy series available to the Magnetire and everyone above. There was a time, many years ago, before YouTube tweaked their YouTube algorithm, when I would remix any artist I liked, no matter how small they were. That gave me the chance to work on some hidden gems from smaller artists and introduce them to a new audience. Having worked with such artists on original productions, I know firsthand how hardworking, passionate and creative they can be, even when working with smaller budgets. I really missed working on those kind of remixes, and now I'm bringing them back through the underground remixes available to the Magnetire and everyone above. Since day one of remixing, I had one rule I never broke. Every remix should have a music video. Otherwise, it was almost certain the video wouldn't perform well. But every time a group releases an album, only the title tracks get a music video and all the promotions, while some amazing B tracks are left behind. Remixing those songs has always been one of the most common requests from you guys, so I'm finally bringing them to you as the B-side remixes, available to the Sunbae and K-pop legend tires. My remixes have always been full-scale arrangements, creating an original track underneath a song's vocals. That is music production. Many people confuse it with DJs, who are the people who play back songs that others made, not create them. That said, sometimes I like to get a bit cheeky and experiment with how 2 or more songs would sound combined. In fact, I've released a few of these before, and now I'm bringing them back as the Mashups and Mega Mixes available to the Sunbae and K-pop legend tires. When I started releasing K-pop remixes back in 2009, I was still learning a lot. Each remix took a lot of trial and error until I could get a result that felt right. And because of that, sometimes the production quality suffered. The truth is, despite receiving a lot of love in the first years, a lot of that early work didn't age very well. But now I know so much better. Going through my old projects, tweaking sounds, replacing vocals with cleaner versions, and improving the mix can bring those tracks back to life. At the same time, I still respect those old remixes because they capture the sound and emotion of that time. So, I'm not making them from scratch, I'm simply updating them to today's production standards. Those are the remasters, available to the K-pop legend tire. Sometimes a song has so much remix potential that just one version isn't enough. You've probably seen that before when I release 2 or even 3 remixes of the same song. So when I remix a new song and want to try a different approach besides my main version, why stop at one? On top of that, I feel many of my older remixes didn't explore all the directions they could have. Wouldn't it be nice to also make a brand new arrangement for those great songs again? This is where the parallel remixes come in, available to the K-pop legend tire. My focus on this channel has always been K-pop remixes, or sometimes songs produced within the K-pop industry. But I know there is a lot of great music across Asia made with just as much quality and passion. Many times I felt I could make amazing remixes of those songs too. Still, for years I kept a strict policy of K-pop only. Well, that changes now with the global wave remixes available to the K-pop legend Tyre. And that's the Areia Remix universe. I'm so grateful to everyone who has been with me all these years, and to everyone who's just discovering me now. When I started making these remixes 16 years ago, I was still a student at university, getting ready to move to Korea because I somehow sensed my future was there. It's been that long since, and so many amazing things have happened that I don't even remember who that guy even was. From meeting and working in the studio with some of my favorite idols, learning K-pop production from legendary producers, working on music video sets and later even directing my own, to slowly building my own little studio and trying to produce my own artists, I matured through K-pop and learned so much in the process. My identity is forever connected with K-pop. Every remix has always been the expression of that passion. The truth is, I never started the Areia Remix to make money. I started because I loved K-pop and wanted to be part of it in my own way. But as time passed, remixing stopped being just a hobby. After 16 years, it became my life's work. By supporting me on Patreon, you're not just gaining access to all these new remixes, you're helping me to build the next chapter of the story, to start my own company here in Korea. A place where I can produce new, original artists in the unique style you've come to know over all these years through my remixes. So if your remixes have helped make your days just a little better, given you motivation to work out, made your study sessions a bit more fun, or your nights a bit more emotional, consider joining the Areia Remix universe on Patreon. The more the support, the more I can rely on Areia Remix, and the more time I can dedicate to making even more remixes, taking in your personal requests. And perhaps one day soon, instead of remixes, you could be enjoying my very first original artists. And why not a whole K-pop group?